Well, Susie, how's it going down there? I thought I would show you the new room. This is the room right outside of our bedroom where the shower isn't finished and some of the walls aren't finished. But I put the green screen around not only behind me but also along the wall here. Bedroom door is right over there. Anyway, so we're in the quiet. This is solitude. Nobody can hear us. And somewhere along the line, we have to start speaking and bringing up from within whatever messages there is. Now, originally, I'm hit with fear, thinking to myself, there's nothing left inside of me. There's nothing to come out. But another part of me tells me that that's because I haven't been speaking it. But as soon as we start speaking it, it'll be there. And it'll be there to a surprising level. Today I was watching some videos of someone, John Anderson, I believe his name was, from the Birch Society. And he was telling the history of America from the 1700s. And the whole history that we seem to have is not even true. In fact, Thomas Jefferson was considered a traitor and sold out to, again, the Illuminati. Now, when the Illuminati are discovered, what they do, they have a rule, is they immediately disband and claim that it's non-existent, and then they come back together again in a different form or with a different name. And their number one priority is to keep it all secret. And this has been going on, surprisingly, since the 1700s and before. But they have been manipulating the world scene with a scheme, and these men were powerful enough to know what to do that would affect the ongoing development of their secret mission, which there's a tenfold plan. One of them is to get rid of God and Christianity, and just sticking with those two makes it so that, wow, I'm ready to stand up for God again. It seemed that after all those years of devotion to spiritual service, seemed to be some kind of inner broadening lessons that needed to be done so that I may come to grasp ultimately why God seems like he betrayed us and left us to this evil world. Now, will we rise to the occasion and come to understand what his master plan is and why he's allowed all of this suffering and this unknown waiting ignorance to remain with those who have believed that God loves us and wants to bring about a world where we all are happy in it. But then we find out, well, maybe we're wicked too, and when he comes to, let's say, destroy the wicked, he's going to destroy us too, because no man can stand before God and claim to be innocent or to be pure enough, without some level of judgment. Although, even while I say that, I'm not liking what I'm saying. So, it's like, where's the forgiveness then? And doesn't he love us? Like, if we're supposed to love each other as ourselves, don't you think God would love us more than that? No matter whether we were even bad. We're supposed to love our enemies. And maybe that's what's going on. God is loving even the enemies. And I've postulated this theory before that God lived long enough and experienced enough ups and downs and all arounds to come to the conclusion that he knows that ultimately good wins out. Maybe he had his own internal battles for a few billion years, and then it worked its way out. So when he sees that humanity has been misled, and Satan and whatever his name was before that, before he got labeled a resistor and tempter and all around bad guy, Lucifer, was that his name? Well, okay. Isaiah chapter 14, maybe his name was Lucifer. Although that seemed to refer to the king of some land rather than Lucifer being some being walking around up in the heavens among diamonds and rubies and all that kind of stuff, because he was really powerful and really good looking and all that. His ego got to him. But again, we go back to the major lesson that God learned himself, which is that good wins out, because bad only kills itself ultimately in the end. And then what's left of the pieces is from only each step along the way being in harmony with that which promotes life. Not domination, control, superiority, destroy, in order to have control. So I'm searching now to begin these online discussions using this microphone and this room and my little camera and my green screen, and do something with it. The daily talks. What have I learned today? Well, I've been kind of walking around in a daze. I'm kind of vacant. But I remember I was talking to you not too long ago about how to listen for God's communications, and that they come like waves in the ocean. And they're not waves of water, but they're waves of light. And all you have to do is tune into them. Like sitting in the ocean waiting for some waves to come. And you know which ones are coming when you see the stirring of the water. And you know which one of the waves you're going to catch. As soon as it's there, waited 4 times, but no, this 5th, well, no, maybe not yet. 6th time, and now I can tell this is it, the 7th wave. So you catch that 7th wave and ride it for all it's got. So that's kind of how I describe the listening to the communications from God, coming in the form of waves and cycles and messages. The wave carries within it a packet of energy, and that packet of energy comes and enters the mind, and then you hear the thought. And strangely enough, this pinkish color that I was seeing just then is carrying the wave of what I just expressed, which is, if you tune into the waves of light that are coming, and when they touch your brain, that information simultaneously, like Bader-Meinhof I call it, these dimensions overlap, and your mind then holds the information that has come to you, and you express it. So what I'm talking about is that this opportunity in this room will be to tune into those waves, listen auditorially, perceive consciously, get the camera's angles all right, and then the editing afterwards to get rid of non-essential information and provide only good information. And learn to trust in the silence, knowing that it's the space between words and the space between thoughts that divide and delineate the difference between thoughts. And then meaning is possible over the breaks, through the breaks, and through the waiting, through the bite-size information. Then it comes clear. A series of thoughts broken by moments of waiting, listening, and then this multi-dimensional thought reveals itself. Then we can add visual display and all sorts of exciting things. So, I'm just saying hello, telling you what I decided to do in the middle of the night instead of sleeping, knowing that you're probably going to wake up and call me soon because you can't sleep, because you also are bitten by the bug of inspiration. We have a short time of our lives left. We've already lived more than half of our lives. Well, you probably say, speak for myself. Most likely. I don't expect too much. Be nice. I love life here. And the idea of depression and feeling negative only comes from a lack of following through with my purpose for why I'm even here. And I don't even like that, for my purpose for being here. You know, well, doesn't every human being have a reason then for being here? Or are we all just here simply as an open-ended, open-minded explorer into the possibilities of what can be created? We're not here with some special purpose. But maybe at some point in our lives we take an action, or we listen to the information that is coming to us in these waves, whether it's subconscious or whether we're consciously listening and consciously praying to have it revealed to us. And then we reveal it as it comes. And maybe it plays an important role, not only in our lives, but in other people's lives, if it's shared. So, do we have a calling? Is there a purpose in our lives? Maybe. Maybe. Or maybe there's a calling, and whomever responds to it gets to be the one sharing in the reward of the dissemination of it and the receiving of it. So you keep doing your classes and teaching the wisdom, because it is the vehicle by which you meet other souls and help them get on a path of self-discovery, self-improvement, that also in return helps others, and thus perpetuating and furthering the growth of the mind of man, which is really just a part of the multidimensional aspect of life and beingness. So it's the universe here learning. It's God here learning through all the separate fragmented parts, learning and coming together. That's so deep. It goes so deep. So anyway, there we are. Thank you for listening, and all this was just meant to be an example of what it's like to ramble in front of the camera, not even knowing what you're going to say, and just getting going on it. Because we are like magnets, or we're like a circuit that's just waiting to connect, and then all of a sudden, all right, I'm now responding, in the proper way. Anyway, I've spoken long enough. I'll see you later.
The August night is warm and tender. The moon has cast its first hello. Now I wonder about the feeling God must have of us here below. With all the troubles and the fights for freedom, with those who want and those who take, few of us really know our power to be of love and forgive our mistakes. There's a feeling that's deep and tender of the one who really knows. You can search, you can climb and surrender, but inside's the place to go. Do you see all the empty faces? Do you hear our babies cry? We are the followers, we are the leaders. Don't let our planet die. What can we take when our time is over? What kind of victory will we have won? Follow your heart and the inner sound. Your spirit guides will be around. You must ask if you want to receive. How else can it be perceived? With all the noise and the spiritual pollution, stop and listen to